So this is going to be a video about the results of our photosynthesis lab. And you're going to need to answer some questions, but also you're going to need to have the photosynthesis lab questions open on your computer. They are on Google Classroom. So I'll be going over those answers here in a minute. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, but first I want you to look at this. This whole bag has a lot of bubbles, a lot of condensation all over it. This is the one that we left outside. It's been outside in the direct sunlight for 2 or 3 hours now. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see it. We've got a lot of bubbles all over, even right on the leaf here. We've also got a lot of bubbles on the top of the bag. Another view of that shows a lot more bubbles. And then a kind of zoomed out view shows you for the whole bag, we have a lot. Now, when we look at the one that we had inside that did not have any access to sunlight, there's really not a whole lot of anything going on with this bag. If I zoom in a little bit right here, you can see there's kind of one little bubble over top of this leaf right here. But that's it. You really don't see condensation on the bag. And then a sort of more zoomed out picture, you can see those couple of little bubbles, and that's it. So this is showing you that there might have been a little bit of gas that was released. And the reason for that is that tree was out in the sunlight before we picked the leaf. Once we took the sunlight away, it stopped photosynthesizing. So this is where you're going to go to Google Classroom, and you're going to go ahead and you're going to open up your photosynthesis lab. Actually, let me zoom out a little bit. You're going to have your photosynthesis lab ready to answer these questions. So what was the difference between the leaves in the 2 bags after 20 minutes? And you needed to mention both leaves in your answer. And the answer is right here. The leaf in the sunlight produced more oxygen bubbles as a result of the byproducts of photosynthesis. And what that means is the leaf in the sunlight gave off oxygen as a byproduct. Leaves and plants consider oxygen to be waste. They give them off. And the leaf in the dark, less oxygen produced because it wasn't undergoing photosynthesis as quickly without sunlight. And we noticed that because there were very few bubbles in the bag in the one in the dark. Question number 2. What process caused the difference between the bags, and how do you know? Photosynthesis, because you need sunlight to start and accelerate the process. In the one that was in the sunlight, lots and lots of bubbles. In the one that was in the dark, very few. Question number 3. Does photosynthesis happen at night? Why or why not? The answer is no, because sunlight is an important reactant in photosynthesis. We saw that with the bag that was in the dark. Once you take away the sunlight, the photosynthesis stops. And the last question, does photosynthesis happen in winter? Why or why not? And the answer is possibly, as long as plants have chloroplasts and chlorophyll and sunlight. So this would happen in wintertime around here with evergreens because they still have green needles where they can take in the sunlight. It does not happen in the trees that shed their leaves because they do not have anything to collect the sunlight with.